No, well, I'm proud of all the young ladies, how we play, and we're a work in progress. And so I know there's things that we got to get better, but the number one thing we need to do is play somebody else and see what those things are in live play. And so I'm proud of our efforts. I know that we got room to grow, room to improve, but you can tell there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of passion out there, and there's a lot of potential. And so we just got to keep working at it.
Questions? What did you see as the best thing that you were the happiest with tonight, and what did you see as the biggest thing that you guys needed to work on?
Yeah, I felt like they were unselfish with the ball. Like we moved the ball well, and we got up and down the floor quickly. Now, not as quickly as I wanted to against their zone, because they were getting back into their zone. And so the best zone offense is push the ball down the floor before the zone gets set. And we were a little bit too content to inbound the ball and just walk up the floor, and that's not okay. And so that's something that we'll continue to work on. But it's a change. It's a change from what most players are used to doing growing up in high school. And so we'll continue to work on that. But I was just proud of overall just the effort. Like they continue to maintain the same effort and intensity, even though we weren't always doing the right things on defense. We weren't doing a good job on the defensive boards. We were missing more free throws. I mean, Claire can make more free throws than we make. So we've got to do better on some little detailed things. But overall, one thing you can't coach is hustle, and the kids hustle. So from that standpoint, we got something to work with.
Working off that, you talked about defense a lot over the past week. So, how do you feel about their defensive effort?
Well, I think the pressure is good overall, but too often we get behind the ball. Too often we're not pressuring the ball, we're chasing the ball. And so there's a difference, and that's just some discipline and some maturity and experience, which is what we need. And there's no shortcut for that, but we got good film now. They can see that. They learn what that feels like. And then we got to get better at some of our reads, just some of the reads on whether to trap, not to trap, and then the rotations to get the steal out of the trap. And so those are things that we can continue to work on. I'm glad that they're going to get to see themselves on film now, and some of the positives and some of the things that we got to get better at. But the effort on defense was good. Sometimes the execution leaves a lot to fix, but that's why we have practice.
How much at halftime did you talk about rebounding?
Yeah, rebounding and fouling. And it's not that's something we talked about from our scrimmages, that we foul, and I tell them fouling erases hustle. That you can hustle and play hard and work and foul. Now the other team gets to rest, regroup, and the worst free throw percentage shooter is equal or better than the worst free throw percentage shooter is as good as one of the best field goal percentage shooters. So you don't want to keep putting people at the free throw line. Now some of that's going to happen with just the intensity with which we play defense, but we were fouling too much hands and not enough feet. So those are the two things that we talked about the most, was stop fouling and box out on the defensive boards.
Casey's first game here at Diddle, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, something along those lines. What did you think of her, her first time out here on the floor?
Yeah, I felt like she just took a big growth spurt forward just because we got the lights turned on and it was a different opponent than our practice guys or the other team. And so she showed a lot of poise, I thought, out there. She got 4 steals. She's close to getting 8. She's starting to read that and react, and that's something different than what she's been taught in the past. And so as she continues to get more confident and anticipate that a little bit better, she's going to be pretty tough to stop.
I know you play your entire bench basically, or whoever's available in the style that you guys want to do it. I know you're probably still trying to learn some rotations to work well together. How did you decide on the starting 5 that you threw out there tonight?
Yeah, some of that's based on potential, and some of that's based on practice play, and then honestly, some of it's on just healthy bodies. And so we've had a few sick, some coming back from sickness. We've had some injuries, and so that's still, and just like the team, that's still an evolving process. And starting, while it's important, it's not as important as finishing. And so who's on the court playing when the game's tight? That's what matters. Like, you might start, but if somebody else is out there when the game's close, that's who's really playing. So we're playing everybody whenever we can, You need to give that kind of effort. You can't sustain that for. I'm proud. Casey played 33 minutes and really played just as hard late as she did early, and so I'm proud of that. But that's hard. That's hard to do, and so we do rotate a lot, and we've just got to continue to work to get better at those defensive positions where we need to be, so that we're not giving up fouls or quick rotations.
We were just talking about this looked pretty good out there tonight. I asked her about how it felt at this point last year, where there were so many players, playing for the very first time out there, compared to tonight, where there's her, there's Alexis, there's Hope, just more players with experience.
Right.
As a coach out there with this group tonight, how different was it from last year?
Well, we're further down the road than we were this time last year, and COVID wrecked us. I mean, it was just really bad for some teams. COVID was a lottery. For us, it wrecked us because the seniors that graduated didn't get to play, and one of the best teams that's played here, and they did get to play in a tournament, and then they graduated, and then we had this COVID thing with young kids, and it was just tough. And so now we're getting our feet back under us now, and we've got a little bit of continuity from last year to this year, and we've got some really good additions to the team. But we still got 3 freshmen and 2 transfers. We still got 5 players that are brand new, and so we're still, and we don't have any seniors. And so we're still learning and growing. This team's going to look a lot different in 2 or 3 weeks, and then it'll look a lot different 2 or 3 weeks after that. But I'm really proud of where they are and how hard they play and how they play together. And so how many assists do we have tonight? 18? No, 12. 22. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. That helps to have glasses on. So 22 assists on 80. What was 87? 80? How many points do we have? 84. Yeah, so 22 assists on 84. So it's almost 25% roughly assisted. So the ball's being shared, moved. And on top of that, there were a lot of opportunities that we just blew easy shots. Like there were times we ran out and we had a wide open layup and we fumble it, we go too far. Little things like that we just got to settle down, understand time and space a little bit better. But so I'm proud of how hard they played, how they shared the ball, the stuff that we can fix. It's fixable. We can work on it in practice and get better at it.
Anything else, Coach? Right.
Thanks, guys.